Hello, and welcome to the One2Gration Cultivating One Community Tech Talk. I am Jeff McKinney, the CEO and founder of One2Gration and our diverse perspectives. And today I am I don't even know how to describe it. My heart is going fast, like it was my first podcast ever. And it's all because I am joined by someone that I'm going to tell a little bit more about her throughout the conversation. But I would like for everyone to meet Mrs. Mayka Rosales-Peterson. Welcome, Mayka.
Hi, everyone. How are you? I'm so excited to be here with you, Jeff. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good conversation.
I'm interested. We prepared a bit, but I'm taking the guardrails off, and this thing is just gonna go where it's supposed to go, just because we've been together for so long. I think in a conversation earlier this week, you were sharing that um, what it's like for you to kind of see the things that I've talked about
Yeah.
kind of move forward and come to this point. Can you, before we jump into that, I'd like for everyone to learn a bit more about you. And so the way that I normally start out these conversations is I tell a bit about the person, and then I back up and allow for you to give a formal introduction of yourself. So I'll take the opportunity to do that. And so to the community of One2Gration, Mayka has been a pioneer in the technology channel space that I've been able to see with my very own eyes. Um, for she and I, we are connected through one of the TSDs and the Pioneering Diversity Partner Program. And so we've been able to see from the ground up, and I've been able to see from the ground up how Mayka has lended her gifts above and beyond her regular job description to ensure that we had guidance and support so that we didn't feel lonely on this journey of entrepreneurship. And so now to have these things, kind of like I said a moment ago, I kind of talked about these things. They didn't really exist 2 or 3 years ago. And for Mayka to have still stayed and listened to me talk about things that we could not see, and now we're here, it is, for me, I don't know if I can properly put it into words. So first off, I'd like to say thank you, Mayka, for always uh, being there to support us. And I want to turn it over to you so you can give an introduction for yourself.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Jeff, I am incredibly proud of you because to your point, I remember when it was just ideas in your mind, right? And you had this, I always tell you, Jeff, you're 30,000 feet, bring it down, strategy, right? But it's so beautiful to see, you really taking that dream that you had and it being manifested. And this is only the beginning for you. I'm excited to see how far this One2Gration, what is it called? One2Gration, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
One2Gration continues to grow, right? And just be a beacon of light in this world, which I'm sure it's going to happen. So,
Thank
um,
you.
yeah,
Tell us about your tell us about your
yeah,
background. That we're here to share. So I should
share
say this
knowledge.
part part of our vision. A huge part of our vision is to have what we call One2Gration Media. One2Gration Media is going to be responsible for making sure that people have access to see and realize that the Micahs of the world are there and they're waiting. They are thirsting to be able to help and serve more. And so, with that being said, I do not want to miss the opportunity for you to share with
Yeah.
our community and our audience your background and why we're having this conversation.
Yeah. So I lead the partner marketing efforts for Intellisys, which is a scan source company, a multi-billion-dollar distributor that we partner with Jeff on a lot of initiatives. So I run the programs that help drive demand for partners. But on my side job, I am also the president of the Alliance of Channel Women, the first Black woman to ever be president of that organization. The Alliance of Channel Women is focused on helping women in technology and the technology channel grow, have a voice. We speak up for diversity, equity, inclusion. just a really great place for women to grow. I'm also part of so many different boards, so many different initiatives in this channel space. We're going to talk more about it. Former Miss Panama USA in 2011. So I was able to represent the country of Panama in the United States and in Panama in 2011. That's a fun fact. We could talk a little bit about that too if we want to.
I think I had heard a rumor about that, but it's been now validated. So
Yep.
Good to know.
Awesome. And yeah, multi-award winner, have been recognized with a dozen awards for my contributions to diversity, equity, and inclusion, to my work in this space. And yeah, speak all over the country. It goes on and on.
And that is why, just when I pause and I think about how many people are unaware that you exist, and that you are doing this with such class and trailblazing, and the opportunity that we have by just giving people access to be an intersection along your pathway.
And I love that, because people have done it for me, and it's part of my core values is to show up and help other people, right? Especially people who look like you and I, where those opportunities are sometimes not given to us easily, right? So I take my time intentionally to try to sharpen the next gen, and open up, the space and time for me to help somebody else. Like that's what we're put here in this world to do, right? Help one another.
I could not have said it better. In fact, that's a part of the mission of One2Gration, to be able to create the resources to ensure that spaces are safe for all, and opportunities are bountiful and plentiful for all. And so I want to make sure that before we start to talk about the work, because we always are focused on the work that needs to be done and building solutions for that we pause and we talk about some of the successes. Because you didn't just start in this work today. And so, I want to, if you would highlight a few of the actions, proactive actions that you've had in your past that you would say.
Did I freeze? I froze. Hold on. I'm coming back.
Uh-oh. You're
back. There we go. Okay. It happened to me all day.
So I'm going to back up because I think we were a little distracted by the freeze.
Okay.
Really what I'm asking, or I think the question is I want to give you a moment to share the successes of the past. And that will land the foundation of kind of why we're so hopeful for the future.
Yeah. I'm going to talk for tech in general. We've always been a space that has had some gaps, right? Especially from a diversity perspective. I think that things really sped up in 2020, 2019, when the George Floyd unfortunate situation happened, where companies realized across the United States the importance of inclusion, right? And the importance of having folks within the room. So I have been able to, with the resources and the positioning that I have, be able to drive initiatives that changed our industry as a whole, right? So in our channel space, we used to call our distributors master agencies, which obviously the connotations with that was kind of tough. But we got a whole industry to change that word to traditional TSDs, right? So that was an initiative that took a lot of convincing, getting people to feel uncomfortable and have uncomfortable conversations, but that initiative moved forward. We also were able to work with organizations like Channel Partners, which is one of the largest expo companies within the channel industry, to create code of conduct for people like you and I to feel safe, for women to feel safe, right? To feel like they can go to an event and not be harassed or, something unfortunate happening. So things like that we've been able to do. We've also been able to partner with many organizations across the channel, like AT&T, Comcast, all the big names, to come up with programs and activities that help drive diversity and inclusion forward. And obviously, Jeff, you're part of our diversity partner program at Intelisys, where we focus on giving voices to entrepreneurs in this space that need resources. And so I've been very blessed and lucky to work with you guys. You guys are such an incredible group, smart humans that I get to learn from every day. And that's just some of the things that we're doing to help shape this industry to make it better.
It's I was just kind of writing a few things down as you were talking about it, and these things are like, no question, they are needed.
Yeah.
No question. When my own experience, One2Gration really came about because of experiences that I was having to endure in corporate America while other people were watching, and HR itself, for some reason or another, wasn't working. And time again, I was having this fight or flight moment to be able to have to figure out if I could stand up for myself. And I always stood up for myself because that's really at the core who I am. But then after a while, I suddenly learned, or was told, that I had this PTSD as a result of this. And I learned that it doesn't matter how brave or strong you are, you're still undergoing trauma.
Yeah.
Like, there's no such thing as exhibiting faith if there's not fear present.
Yeah.
And so, now I have this thing that I'm learning to work through. And so there's obviously this passion to now say, well, the way that I helped my customers heal the challenges that they had was to offer technology solutions. And so that's kind of what we do. So why don't we think about how do we leverage technology to address some of these challenges Yeah. So with that being said, and a bit about One2Gration and what we're doing, and about diverse perspectives, the technology hat that we've worn. And like you said, for so long, you've said, Jeff, bring it down.
I would say get to the strategic level, Jeff.
Yes.
You're visionary, and that's okay, right?
So what is the opportunity? What do you see as the opportunity? Now it's time to get down and go.
Yeah.
What do you see?
In the opportunity in regards to what?
For us to address the gaps. Like, what are the priorities? You spent your time in this space, and we're always judging based off of kind of the fruits that we feel inside of these spaces. And now we say, okay, well, what are we doing? Like, you talked about the programs and the organizations that you're a part of. What's the next thing for us to go out?
I think we've been in this space of talking, right? I think as an industry. And I think there's a moment in time for us to execute and do the work. However, I know that the work that we are doing has been politicized a lot, right? To the point where a lot of the initiatives that we have rolled out and the conversations that we've had from a diverse perspective has been rolled back, right? We're seeing it even at different levels of government, right? And education, where affirmative action has been essentially removed, right? We see policies that are happening, in states like Florida and Texas that really it is a direct stab into the work that a lot of people have done the last 4 years. And it's scary because they say that D&I is not an issue, but I still am in an industry where I can count with my hands how many people who look like me are in a room of 1,000 people. And it's not okay, right? So I think we're in a moment in time where we have to continue to raise awareness, use our voice, right, in the places that we're in. And and push the initiatives. I mean, it's just so sad to see what is happening. Honestly, everything
You,
has been reversed. I feel like we're like
you know,
30,000 feet back.
well, I'll say this. I agree.
Yeah.
Um, I during that time, when I saw all of these things happening and all of these promises and pledges made, I saw one company up close, technology company, say that they had rolled out a plan to be equitable by 2030, and it
Yeah.
was 2020, and I was like, 10 years. They're giving themselves 10 years to
10 years to do it. And it's like, it makes you think that what was the motivation behind it? Was it just a trend, or was it because they really cared about the importance of inclusivity? Because it directly contributes to the bottom line. I mean,
Yeah, no,
statistics.
it definitely does. There's no question with that. I think at the time the intentions were well.
Yeah.
However, when times get tough, because at the same time you think about business, right when George Floyd was happening, there was also this thing that was driving a bunch of free dollars
Hmm.
that was to go into the spending, the
Yeah.
economy.
COVID.
Yeah, and so because of that, that had an unnatural impact on public companies.
Yeah.
And so now here they are. They just made these promises and these pledges to do these things that they never done before.
Yeah.
So,
It's new.
how can you be that committed to something you just said that you were going to do, 6 months ago,
Yeah.
especially when we got to cut a budget.
Yeah.
And the
Absolutely.
reason, yeah, the reason why we got to cut a budget is because those fake dollars, the government didn't give us that plus 20% because Wall Street wants us to do, they want us to grow. And now
Yeah.
the fake money is gone. And so now we got to make some
Yeah.
tough
Yeah. Make real
decisions. So
money.
yeah,
Yeah.
so for me, when I saw it, I always knew that it was a band-aid because it did nothing to change the hearts
Yeah.
of the people who were making the decision. It was just something that was kind of like a fashion fad. It was cool. It was PR. It was
Yeah.
that's
But
that's what it was.
not for everyone, because I think there's some companies that really uh stood by what they are saying, but I think high level, it's being highly politicized, that it wasn't like more than it's ever been before. And I think that's what's causing, like, people not wanting to invest more in this conversation. But what I do worry about the most is not only just the reversal, but as technology continues to evolve with
Mhm,
AI,
mhm.
right? AI is artificial intelligence, right? So biases and unconscious thoughts and content are all getting poured into an automative platform. How do we, if DNI is not a conversation anymore, how are we controlling AI, which is a beast in itself, right? And what it feeds folks. That's a whole nother can of worms from a technology perspective that we need to think
W-
about.
Well, I have some good news. I have thought about it a lot, and the way that we address this is by creating
Hmm.
and leading and
Yeah.
creating what we call respocial services with respocial practitioners to drive the responsible use of these social tools to make sure that, hey, look, everybody, AI used to be called machine learning.
Yeah.
Why did they change the name?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it did bad things. The
Right.
internet can teach AI to do anything because it just uses the internet for the information. And
Exactly.
so tons and tons of people have these ideas about around what AI is capable of without realizing that AI requires electricity.
Hmm.
We can pull the plug on it.
Right.
if it
Right.
if the there are gonna be some bad people
Yeah.
to use it in bad ways. So that means that the character and integrity of AI will always have a sketchy brand.
Hmm.
And what we have to do is we have to build tools to make sure that we capture and shine the light and drive accountability
Yeah.
into the use of technology. And
Yeah.
so one example I like to use when it comes to this is that, we have these large social media platforms. And the social media platforms have these algorithms that they don't exactly tell you how they work.
Yeah. We have to guess.
Yeah, yeah, we have to guess. In addition to that, they tell us things. They tell us, the technologists, that we need to pay them to prove who we are, $14.99 a month.
Mm-hmm.
When you and I know that they know our IP address, our UMEI number, they know everything. So what,
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
to pay?
Yeah.
Really?
I know. It's so interesting. And the more you dive deeper, the more things you uncover. You're just like, oh my Lord.
So
What
so
else?
so so this so the reason why I'm bringing this up is because now here we are. You've got this rich background in going out and being for all people
Yeah.
and understanding technology
Yeah.
and having an amazing network that will pick up and they say, where you need me.
Yeah.
So now think about the opportunity for us to unify in a place that has no algorithm, to now do the things that we feel like are worthy of our gifts.
Yeah.
I would like to pause there, and then what do you think about the possibility of that? What's the max? What do you see?
Okay. We're going to pause and you're going to have to elaborate on the max of what.
What could Respocial media per se? Let's just use One2Gration, Respocial media.
Hmm.
What could that do or enable for our desire to drive change?
Yeah. I think that number one, the viewers here being able to learn how you can fill in that gap with the services that you offer would be key, right? I think that there's a real opportunity. We just talked about AI, right? And understanding how it's manifesting in ways that we can control, right? And that we can be able to streamline processes with. And that's something that you can help with. I know that you have a lot of ideas that are happening from that perspective as well that I'm excited to learn. I don't know if you froze. I think you froze, Jeff. Did you freeze? I can't hear you. I lost you. You're frozen, or I can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
I
There's
think
like a weird lag. What's happening?
I, I was on mute
It was
some way.
distracting me.
Yeah, and I was on my side. I was moving while you were
You
saying, "Are
were
you
moving,
froze?"
and I'm like, what's happening?
uh,
Technology, right?
hey, it
But even
allows for
Jeff,
us to skip.
I'll throw it back to you, right? Because
Yeah.
you're in a unique spot as a
Hmm.
technology advisor in this space, right?
Hmm.
And where do you see the gaps, right? What your company is filling?
Yeah, I think if I were to say the one integration strategy and what are we addressing? I think we're addressing that the algorithm in those who build the algorithms have proven that they have integrity issues. And so how long are we going to stay committed relationship with those people that we question their character? I'm not saying we leave them. I'm saying we
Yeah.
need options. And
Yeah.
so I think we're providing another option that will now drive more responsal use. We've trademarked that term. So, they can be social media. We are responsal media. In order to be responsal media, then, there's certain things that are going to have to be done that we get to dictate. So that's one way that we do that. I think also, too, for us, I look at humanity as an enterprise.
Mm,
And when I would go into organizations to go work with them, we would look at their employees as their enterprise. How many users do you have? What
yeah.
type of services do you need to provide? What type of what are these different roles? And so I turn around and take that same mindset and then look at humanity and say, what are the challenges that people are facing?
Yeah.
Well, people are facing challenges around depression, anxiety, and these mental health related types of things. Those 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 uh those those challenges are most times driven by an overwhelmingly a feeling of isolation.
Yeah.
And so based off of I try to build things around spiritual law,
Yeah.
based off of the fact that when two people connect uh, with love and positive intentions, then
Mhm.
there's a multiplying effect to that.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, and
Absolutely.
and so and so we're maximizing that, and then from there we're providing the responsal relations, human relations, and responsal well-being services that
Yeah.
are essentially going to be curating the personal development, the career development, and all of these different things that I don't want to just lay out that
Yeah.
clearly at this point. It's going to be the place. It answers the problem of where do I go when I don't know where to go. Well,
Yeah. It's the one-stop shop, right? You come here and then you can be pointed to the right direction depending on what you need in that moment in time. And I think
and that
that's really unique. I don't think anybody's really doing something like this in the market, you know? So it's really unique.
well, I would
Very,
say if someone were to be doing something like this in the market, they would have listened to about 3 years of everybody telling them get narrow, do less, and don't do all that stuff. Jeff is too much. And oh, by the way, uh, disregard the financial ramifications of taking so much time to bring something to market. I mean, like, I really look at this and I'm grateful for the resources that I had available to me
yeah.
to help continue to shape and encourage and get to this point. So now here we are, and it's about, okay, so now it's really time. This vehicle is built. It's time for our diverse perspectives. And so that's where you come in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Amplify it and to help you be able to get it out to the world. And I think that, you know, our channel and the diversity piece in many organizations that we work with would love something like this, right? Would love to be able to understand what this mission is and
right.
be able to be behind it. So I think that this is a really unique place. It takes all of us to do the work.
Yep.
It's not just you, it's not just me. We it takes all of us to do the work, and we still have a very long way to go. Very, very long. We're not
We
there
we we,
yet.
we we're nowhere close to it. And I don't think the work will ever be over, by the way.
No, it's not. It's
Uh,
we're
you
nowhere
know,
near.
we're called to always move forward to go build the kingdom,
Yeah.
and just, there ain't no stopping that
Yeah.
call. And
Yeah.
so, for you and I specifically, as you are the senior manager of partner marketing and at Intellisys, that is your former role. I
Yeah.
mean, your formal role.
Yep.
Tell me about, we're coming back and shifting back to the our diverse perspective lens.
Yeah.
How do you see yourself in that role, being able to partner and support the our diverse perspectives
Yeah.
type of model to be able to go out and drive and contribute in this way as well?
Yeah. I think, you know, things like this, right? Podcasting, being able to get the message out to more people, being able to connect with organizations and thought leaders that, like you said, I can pick up the phone and call them right away, like the Brandon Knights at Zoom
Mhm,
and the
mhm.
AT&Ts and the Comcast, right? With the big brands that can help raise more awareness to this and be able to, you know, scale it. Because I think it's all going to be about scaling. I think you have a good foundation here, right? And it's just the next move for you is to build awareness and scale and let everyone know, right? Being very strategic with the partnerships to make sure that it reaches the right audience and that more people know about what something special going on here that they need to be part of. So Through my marketing background, I know that you and I talk about things all the time. Actually, this was an idea. This was you brought this idea to me, and I'm like, you need to have different thought leaders come in and chat, and and now it's here. So this is
Yeah.
just one avenue to market, and we just need to continue to scale it strategically.
Yeah.
So
Yes. And um, to add to that, we're doing a little bit more than talking about. It's actually happening. We have
yeah,
time
do
on the
an event.
calendar. Yeah, we have with time on the calendar, and I'll break it to you here. I've envisioned this event is going to be in Sonoma
Oh,
at the,
okay.
at the Austin Hope Distillery.
We didn't
It,
we didn't go that far yet, but okay, I'm there.
yeah, so I want you to know, when Diverse Perspectives, One2Gration, uh, Micah, and the rest of us get together and give our gifts, we dream big.
Yeah.
And I've got the relationships in place there at Austin Hope. We already have the conversations,
There's
and
gonna be
so
some amazing suppliers there. They get to meet. It's gonna be good education on technology. We're gonna have conversations about AI and its impact to people, right? And how it can impact your business. Um, and it's gonna be a good time. We're gonna be
we're
good
also
food, good moments, good time.
to your earlier point about how we go out and we deliver and we drive change and the things that we do. In addition to that, there will be a portion of that event that will be dedicated to how AI can be used in human resources
Yeah,
and driving more inclusivity and belonging into the workplace.
yeah,
And so, of course, we have our Responsibly Human Relations service that's being envisioned, that we feel like is going to be able to directly for employees provide a difference that they've never had.
yeah,
However, as you said before, there are employers that stood by and stand by creating these environments, and
yeah.
so we
There's
we
still
we
a lot
want,
to stand on it. Comcast Business, they're a big one. We're
and
still
we need to
walking along.
highlight them. We
Yeah,
need to shine the light on them, because as a model, they are Respocial certified as far as I'm concerned,
yeah,
and so
right,
we need to support that to encourage others. So
right.
in closing, there's this physics concept, not my idea by any means. We've talked a lot about it. We talked about One2Gration and how the network and what the possibilities are. It's mass times accelerations equals force.
Okay.
And so the reason why I bring that up is because without collaboration and without partnership, you can't pick up acceleration as quick as you would like,
Yeah.
um, per this equation. And if we're able to increase our mass, then the acceleration comes in the impact or the force, if we make sure it's going towards the right thing,
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
will be huge. And so
Yeah.
I want to invite uh, uh, other partners, other individuals, um, really humans who would like to connect in a real way
Mhm.
to make sure that they can do things that feed their purpose, have a lot of fun doing it, and be a part of the people who contribute to making the world a better place. I want to invite you to One2Gration, Respocial Media. It's open, it's available now. Uh, Micah, before
Yeah.
we close, is there anything you'd like to share?
No, I mean, I think this was wonderful. I'll leave this. I always say this anytime I am speaking somewhere. It's wise words from my grandmother, who may her soul rest. She just passed. She said, "Closed mouths don't get fed." And essentially, what that means is always speak up for what you want. So this platform here is a space for all of us to speak up, to make change, and to really work together to help the greater good. So get involved, connect with Jeff. We're here. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Happy to connect with anyone here or through this platform as well. And we're here to help one another. So I'm excited to see how this community continues to grow and the impact you're going to make, Jeff. It's going to be good.
Thank you so much. And with that said, this has been a Cultivating One Community business update. I should drop the tidbit that this is actually going to be a part of our 4th annual Cultivating One Community Juneteenth celebration. So this will air as a part of what we're doing for Juneteenth. So thank you.
I love it.
It's again, to have you along this journey, and then also a part of the vision for the future. I'm very fortunate and very grateful. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, everyone. You're welcome.
Bye.
Listen, we all face challenges. No matter who you are, what you do, and where you live, challenges arise. At One2Gration, we are your safe space. We support you through social media. We support you in the business world. We help your nonprofit organizations. We tell your stories that ignite hope and purpose. We are here to serve all people like you, to participate in all aspects of your life so you can navigate life successfully. Choose today. One2Gration, one purpose, unified.